Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. Today we're going to talk about my 7 tips of things to do outside of the cheer gym during the summertime. If you don't know me, I'm Laura Turner. I'm the cheer PT, and I help cheer athletes stay healthy, prevent injuries, and reduce the risk of injuries so they can stay cheering for life. Uh, Today is the first day of summer. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see my hair is wet because it's freaking hot. And yeah, I just got out of the shower and I just needed this because I needed to cool down. Um, I live in Massachusetts, and this is the first real hot day. And it's packing a punch. None of us have any energy today, but we need to get this podcast out. We need to get some work done. It's Juneteenth. So if you're listening in the future, it's a holiday, federal holiday, and I applaud President Lincoln for the 13th Amendment and for making that happen. And this is not a political conversation. We're going to talk about summertime, but um, I I don't know how I felt about this holiday because I don't love midweek holidays. I kind of think they're silly. But I think I applaud my company that I work for, Rebound, for giving us this day off in honor of the emancipation of slaves. Because I think that was a huge moment in history, and that was a proud moment for our country. The rest of the stuff that happened beforehand and all the stuff in between, not so much. Again, not a political conversation. Let's get back to the Cheer Athlete podcast. Um, so today, as I was, wondering, like, what am I going to talk about? And I often preach to cancel cheerleading for a season. I was just seeing a post by, on Let's Talk Cheer podcast on Instagram, and Jason was talking about how kids are taking like full years off. I don't think that that's necessary. At all. I think focusing on one thing it takes away from all the other stuff that comes along with cheer. And he makes a very good point in his podcast and on his post. Um, Shout out to Jason also, because not only does he go above and beyond for bringing us great content, but he's helped me a ton in my podcasting abilities and skills, because goodness knows this is not my primary job. And so he recommended, I don't know if you can tell, now have a webcam. It's all the things and some lighting over here. So hopefully that helps to make all of this a better experience, and that you can hear it better. So I do think it's important, though, to take time off, to not do cheer skills and drills, and to let your body do something different. I talk about this because, and especially for kids under the age of 16, they need the time away. They need the time for their body to recover, and they need to learn other skills that help their body development and help them gain coordination, gain strength and muscles that maybe they don't use, so that they have less injuries down the road. It's going to make them a better cheerleader also. And in the long run, it's going to make them a better cheerleader. And that, I know this isn't a thing. My sister has called me out on this because in my book that's coming out hopefully soon, I talk about needing to take the time off and needing to, go through seasons of allowing your body to recover and rest. And she's like, nope, cheerleaders won't do that. Neither will soccer players, neither will gymnasts and dancers. They all need to do something different. Maybe this is a novel idea, because one of my recommendations, and we'll make that number one, form a soccer team. Have your cheerleaders go learn how to play soccer and play for the summer. Granted, like I think 4 different sports under the age of 16 is actually really good for athletes. But say you're with your sport from September till May. From June, July, and August, take your team and go play soccer. What amazing conditioning. You're going to, the endurance is going to build tremendously. They're going to develop foot coordination. They're going to learn how to cut and turn, which is going to help them in their transitions. It's going to build up a lot of leg strength and power. Um, what a great way to cross train. And here's the thing, maybe your soccer players, your soccer team could come into the cheer gym and learn basic cheer skills. Yeah, maybe they're not going to be out competing, but maybe that gives them a cross training uh, tool that they get to learn something different too. I didn't even think about having other teams in this conversation, but if you're a high school coach or you're a youth coach, take the time to, you know, collaborate with other sports and see if you can mix in some cross training. And it needs to be more than a week. The training, it needs, 6 weeks minimum is a average amount of time for a strength and conditioning routine. But you make it for the summer, even better. So train them some different skills. Soccer is number one, my first suggestion. If you have a cheer gym, maybe take all of your different level teams and they can either mix and mingle them so that old kids are playing with the younger kids, and it's even across the board, and teach them how to play soccer, or kickball, or some, do something that's completely different from cheer. Um, I know if you own a cheer gym, you need the year round because the cost of owning the gym in and of itself is crucial. And I know y'all have choreography coming up pretty soon. So throwing that in on occasion, that's okay. But what else could you use your gym for in the summertime that allows the kids to rest? Now, if you're thinking team building, and I'm sure a lot of these kids, that's all they want to do is hang out. When I was cheering in college, we'd practice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we were off for the rest of the week in the summertime. But we all got together and went to the beach together because we just enjoyed each other's company. Like that's okay. Like hang out with each other. We're friends, right? That's what we want to do. That's totally fine. But give them a break from the actual cheer skills. No jumping, no tumbling, no stunting, no arm motions. Just give them a break on that. First tip or first suggestion is soccer. Second one, swimming. Hot day like that today, all I want to do is be in a pool. And I bailed on going to my sister's pool because it was too hot to drive to her house. Now I'm regretting it. But maybe have the team do conditioning for swimming, and forget the cheer stuff. Have them get into a pool or go to a lake and do laps. You'll be amazed at the strength and the conditioning that happens with just swimming laps. It is a whole body exercise. You create endurance. You will lean out. You will build strength in muscles that you didn't know you have, and you're going to work your body in different ways. Now, if somebody can't swim, have them get into lessons so that they learn, because that's an important skill to have. And if they don't have access to a pool, obviously that's different. But if you have the access to a pool and you can do that, even just getting in, floating in the water with noodles and kicking, twisting, creates a different mobility that we don't get when we're cheering. And it's cooler, and you still need to drink the water when you're swimming because it's a lot of work, but it gives you an option. Something completely different. It's gonna be great cross training for cheer when they get back in it. Bike riding. That's my third suggestion. Encourage your kids to get out and bike ride. We used to bike ride to the town park to go swim throughout the summertime. It will strengthen your legs different. It's going to give you conditioning. And again, it's working the body in a way that cheerleading doesn't offer. And it's a great, you can't do it in the wintertime in the Northeast. So my husband does, he's a cyclist, so he rides all year round, but mostly you can. So summertime, like get out, encourage it. Early mornings, you can go out for a half an hour to an hour and get it done. I really like the team sport ideas like soccer, like I talked about, but maybe softball. What I like softball versus soccer. Soccer, you're going to get a lot of conditioning, right? It's a lot of running, a lot of cutting. Softball is going to get you that rotational power. which we need for tumbling, we need for stunting. Our flyers need that rotational power in both directions, to help create that stability while they are up in the air. Also need that the cutting that will happen with running. It gets an eye-hand coordination, which is really important. So maybe have a softball team and softball tournaments throughout the year throughout the summer. You can do that 3 times a week or even twice a week. It's gonna really help your team immensely. And you give them a break from their normal cheer skills. So we've had soccer, swimming, bike riding, softball. Fifth, strength training. That's my jam, of course. That's what I do, and that's what I help you with. And if you need help, please reach out to me. I can create a strength and conditioning program for you or your team. And I can either just give it to you, or we can work together and I can actually train your kids online through my fitness app called Trainerize, and oversee that so that you don't have to do anything with it. Strength training is important, and that's the best time to actually build strength is now, because they're not doing their full out routines. So leg strength, squats, deadlifts, lunges, carries, push-ups. This is the time for them to build the strength, build that foundational strength, so that that can carry over into cheer season. 6, can't read my writing. Climb trees. When's the last time you went and climbed a tree? I have this beautiful tree outside my window. It's a pine tree. Can't really climb it, but I'm looking, I'm like, oh, stepping from that branch to that branch to another branch, like the balance, the control, the range of motion that it takes to climb a tree. I used to love it when I was a kid. And we had some big, huge, like I don't know what kind it was, but it had like a seat in it, so you could climb up one section and just go sit. First of all, it got me exercise. Second of all, I would hang from it to, like, hold your legs like you do on monkey bars, hold your legs over and hang over. Great ab work, great hamstring work. And then I would sit in the tree and just chill and dream and envision life. And that gave a lot of time to just reflect. And, we are always on the go. Cheerleaders, especially, I think cheerleaders, especially teenagers, especially, and everything is quick, quick, quick. Always got to get this done, get it, do more, do more, do more. Sometimes a great time to let your body rest and recover and do less. Sometimes doing less will actually allow you to be better when you need to go do more. So get back out, embrace the climbing the trees. If you don't have, great tree climbing, like go hiking, walk on uneven surface. Find that time that you can do a little bit of work of climbing over rocks. At my lake house, we have this huge, like the water goes out and there's this huge rock section. And we used to go walking along the rocks all the time. And like the sensory awareness you get from that, and the balance that you need to, walk on the uneven surface and climbing over really helps to create better stability. And then you can sit on the rocks and chill again. That was an added bonus. I didn't have that on my list. But climbing trees, taking a hike, walking, going on uneven surface, that all helps to carry over into everything you do for cheer. And you could do that as a team, or you could do it individually. You could say we have a team hike coming up, and leave from your gym and go for a hike, or have the parents come with you and it's a big team outing, have a picnic. If you go for a hike 2 or 3 times a week, or maybe you do all of these. Once you swim, once you bike ride, once you have a soccer game, once you have a softball game, and once you go for a hike or you go out and climb trees and then you have a picnic together. Like, it's great team bonding as well as cross training. My 7th, perhaps favorite one that especially for younger kids, I mean, I think this is great for like through college and even for adults, but for younger kids that really need that time off, and don't need to be doing their cheer skills all the time, like 5 to 12, but 16 is the time then I think you should specialize. But let's say 12, 5 years old to 12 years old, like obstacle courses. If they need to be in your gym, it's because you need to have them in the gym doing things like They can do chants, you can learn different cheer chants. I know if you're all-star, you're not actually cheering, but you could still go through the old school cheers and have them, start to sing and do chants as they are crawling through a tube or climbing over uh, some of those tumble rolls, or dive rolling down and then getting back up and just getting up and down from the ground, like anything that like challenges their body in different ways, but doesn't actually have them doing cheerleading. Um, I know it's an unpopular opinion. I know that in today's day and age, we have to be on and doing our thing all the time so that they get a scholarship. Well, newsflash, not everybody's going to get a scholarship. Not everybody is going to be able to work that hard. And if you're going to have better athletes and be more healthy in the long run, take some time off from the actual sport. Still train for the sport by doing other activities that it challenges your body and allows your body to grow, to build muscles in different ways and keeps things more balanced. You can still do your stretching when you're home, even though keep that to the end of the night and the end of the day. But, create that different motion, create those different systems so that you're healthier for the long haul. I I know there are some gyms out there that are starting to do a little bit and they give like a week or two off. And I do think it's a start. It's good. It gives them a break. It's not as intense. And I think especially this time of year is the time to really do that because full on 100% come September, it's go time. You're really progressing skills and doing more, but you build that foundation now, the rest will fall into place when September comes. And then by the time you're in full on competition season next February, it's good to go. Rest is a hard thing. And I think people really have a really hard time grasping how important it is. But when we do so, and we allow ourselves on these hot days to take it easy, do a little bit so you get some movement in, but you also then honor your body by allowing yourself to rest, or to do something different. You will be better for it in the long run. If you are interested in my strength and conditioning programs and you want to work with me one-on-one, or you want to work with me as a team, reach out, send me an email. I will leave a link below that you can schedule a consult for a free strategy call and see what's best for you and your cheerleader. I have a free webinar coming up on June 25th at 7 p.m. It's a Tuesday at 7 p.m. If you sign up, that you'll get a recording afterwards. Come and be there live so you can ask me questions. If you have questions ahead of time that you want me to answer, you can, feel free to send me a message on Instagram or, by email. But this webinar is going to be called Flexible Flyers. We're going to talk about ways to improve flexibility. Hint, it's not really going to be flexibility, but we're going to work on improving how flyers look more flexible, how to make flyers look more flexible and do their skills in a safe way that doesn't involve stretching. So come join the webinar. I'd love to have you. That link will be in the show notes below. Also, it will be there on demand after also. So if you're hearing this after the 25th, feel free to sign up for that as well, because it'll be free for life. And as always, I have, flexible flyer handouts, all kinds of free guides and whatnot. So check out those show notes below also. Thanks for listening. Give your kids some rest. Go enjoy the summer. I'd love to know, what are you doing this summer? What is on your summer bucket list? And what fun are you going to have this summer that is outside of the cheer gym to keep you well-rounded, give you some family time, and to just enjoy the summer. Have a great one. And don't forget, when in doubt, breathe it out. Take life one step at a time. You can do anything you put your mind to. And as my friend Drew Kelleher said, you're responsible for your own vibes. So go get the day.